Welcome to another edition of Legacy of Transformation, which is devoted to highlighting the many achievements and positive impact of President Jonthathan's transformation agenda. In this episode, we shall share with you what Jonthathan's government is doing in the education sector.
It's undeniable the progressive transformation of Nigeria's aviation sector. With the modernization of safety and navigational equipment, air travelers are confident again. With the remodeling of terminals nationwide, Nigerian airports are fast becoming tourist destinations. With the construction of cargo terminals, agriculture can flourish again, and the best is yet to come. It's Jonthathan. Work in progress. Vote continuity. Vote President Goodluck Ebele Jonthathan. Vote PDP.
Of education, and because of that we say that from primary level to the university across this country and across the northeast we must encourage education. For now at the primary level we are revigorating the primary level of education, and especially in the north we are introducing the Almajiri educational system where about 9.5 million of our youths will benefit.
Towards the transformation agenda, President Goodluck Jonthathan makes no pretense about his passion for education. As an educationist himself, he takes the sector as a personal issue. This informs why he set out a long list of goals upon which his achievements can be measured. The formulation of a 4-year strategic development plan, instituting the Almajiri education program, under which 400 schools would be completed in 2015. The harmonization of Islamia and basic education curriculum for Almajiri schools. Special focus on girls' education program schools in 8 states. The introduction of Back to School program, which was launched in Enugu to enhance access to education for boys in the southeast. Introduction of 1-year formal early child education into the formal school system. Distribution of minimum standard documents for basic education to all public schools. The approval of 9 additional federal universities which have since begun academic activities.
Let the word go out from here that I will be for the students, the teachers, and parents of Nigeria. The president will advance quality and competitive education.
In every civilized society, education is pivotal. The quality of manpower is dependent on the quality of education, and it is a weapon required for the molding of the character of the people. It also propels the nation's prosperity. However, in Nigerian experience, education has suffered years of serious neglect as a result of poor funding, poor infrastructure, and low morale of the personnel.
All what we promise you is that we will work hard with you to change this country, to make sure that we improve the condition of life, to make sure that we increase wealth. And to do that, there are certain basic things. We must stimulate education. This is an administration that we want to treat all Nigerians equally.
On assumption of office, President Jonthathan gave education priority attention. This has, in a short period, translated to massive improvement, particularly with specific programs involved. The government started radical transformation in the sector, and some of the practical steps taken are to ensure that children of school age have access to basic education and the distribution of materials to the pupils.
Our goals have always been to strengthen complementary interventions in provision of quality programs that will pave the way for acceptable standard of basic education outputs.
President Jonthathan recognized that no nation can grow with poor education system. To arrest the drift in the system, there was the need to begin the reform from the baseline. That prompted the strategic transformation of the Universal Basic Education, UBE. The singular move to reactivate the UBE had immediate impact on both access and standard of education.
The crucial importance of education to our national development has always been recognized. It is for this reason that the administration of His Excellency President Goodluck Ebele Jonthathan, GCFR, more than ever before, made human capital development a primary policy priority. This is demonstrated by its being a key component of a transformation agenda. Funding of education is one of the focal areas of the 4-year strategic plan for the development of the education sector, which was developed to support the actualization of the transformation agenda of Mr. President.
All over the world today, by the UNESCO statistics, out of over 60 million children all over the world that are roaming about the streets, it is believed that 10.5 of that 60 million are Nigerians. And so Nigeria has the highest percentage of out-of-school children who are roaming about the street. What we did when we came on board is to form what we call a 4-year strategic plan. That is from 2011 to 2015. And the components of that, there are 2 key issues, which has to do with access and quality.
There was a remarkable increase in school enrollment, particularly the Almajiris and the nomads, who are known to be highly itinerant.
It has been said that the Almajiri system is the system that is bringing or littering our streets with beggars. So where we now devise a means of putting them off the streets and making them sit in a classroom and providing for them from uniform to feeding, we will not see beggars in the streets.
As a result of this reason, you see their number out of the street is now reducing. And some of them that they cannot even be integrated into Western education, they are now started coming into the mainstream. Now they have been mainstreaming into the conventional system of education. And some of them now they are beginning to understand the difference between where they are before and where they are now.
If both the moral components of Islamic education is put side by side with the technical advantage of Western education, we can produce through it a well-educated Nigerian who is also who will not be a liability to the society. So this I think is an important innovation. The government saw that as an area that requires attention and has done something to address it.
To Allah zai iya taimakon Alƙur'ani wajen kiyaye shi nan da kowane irin mutum, ko ya zama musulmi ne ko ba musulmi ba ko dan arewa ko ba dan arewa ba. Ni a gani na wannan ba zai zama abin mamaki ba.
The day the president went to commission this in Sokoto, I felt very, very proud. It was from there I started realizing that the dream of what is Nigeria, which I have been dreaming, is coming in reality. These are the kind of leadership, these are the kind of political commitment that we want. Educating one child, you are educating the whole world. Education is the most vital and the most important part. We don't need to politicize education. The state governors to whom this thing is done, we in particular in the northern part of the country that we feel that we are educationally disadvantaged, we must take this as a challenge to stand firm.
It's not an easy task, but we have to start somewhere. and the government have taken the right step to start it. But the challenge is big. I hope Mr. President know that the challenge is big and he is going to tackle it.
It's a school complete with a library, hostel accommodation. We provided the beds, including the mattresses. They have cafeteria, they have a kitchen, they have a language laboratory. And now I wish tomorrow some of you can go and test the facilities for the language laboratory. They have an ICT center. We have primary education, a primary science laboratory, and they have technical and vocational education workshop. Now, these are the facilities that government is supposed to provide in every basic education school. That for the day schools, at least instead of roaming around the streets with begging balls, they will earn a decent education. And at least in the schools providing day education, they will have a decent meal.
4 years of breathtaking challenges, 4 years of unprecedented display of the undying Nigerian spirit, a rare determination to steer the Nigerian ship safely through the storms of social, economic and political challenges. With cool, calm and calculated resolve, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan is taking Nigeria on the steady march to greatness. With President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Nigeria is work in progress. Don't stop the match. Vote for continuity. Vote for President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Vote PDP.
There has also been a progressive improvement in the results at the West Africa School Certificate and the National Examination Council levels. If the foundation is firm, the system would be strong. Having rejuvenated the UBE, the government took the next step to focus on the tertiary level.
Higher institutions of learning support progress in society through research and innovation. These institutions are also central to the development of human capital to support diverse areas of industrial productivity.
Apart from the very bold step of improving access to education by establishing 9 federal universities, the government also supported some universities, polytechnics, and research institutions across the country with about $5 million to develop as centers of excellence. The president is well aware that no nation can develop technologically without research. He has therefore created a special fund for research, besides the grants from the TED Fund.
TED Fund disburses funds realized from 2% education tax collections to federal and state universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education.
You will recall that if we backtrack up to about 4 years ago, the federal government decided that to be funding institutions by refurbishing the old equipment and building new structures. So they coined what they call high impact intervention from a TED Fund. So in that year, the first year, 6 federal universities and 6 state universities received $3 billion each. And it has continued up till now. But what's more intriguing about the whole process is that about 2 years ago, the TED Fund was now solely for tertiary education funding.
There was a great national concern for effective halt to this disaster. The answer was rebate of TED funds. The rebate followed the amendment of education tax fund law. This measure was a move to reposition the fund to pay adequate attention to challenges posed by underfunding of the tertiary education system, especially as the mandate of the Universal Basic Education Commission, that is UBEC, had been expanded to cover both education, both basic and secondary education. The result of this redemption exercise had led to TED Fund's massive intervention in public universities, polytechnics, and colleges of education in the country.
Through its various agencies, the government has set the undergraduate basic minimum academic standards, and they are continuously reviewed. Also developed is the postgraduate benchmark minimum academic standards. Attention is being paid to the state of the universities. There is institutional accreditation as well as programs accreditation.
Not too long ago, soon after I took over as a president, he invited all regulators. No system works without effective regulation, from central bank to the list, called the NDL, all of them regulators, and gave us a marching order that will either work hard or quit. You can't succeed if you have rules and regulations and there's no enforcement. That has been lacking for a very long time. So education is on the forefront now. With NUC as regulator of tertiary education at the university level, we have just concluded what I call institutional accreditation.
What is perhaps the greatest innovation is the introduction of the Nigeria Research and Education Network, INGRAIN. INGRAIN was launched in July 2014 at the National Universities Commission, NUC. It is a foundation that would ensure that universities could communicate, collaborate, access and share resources across national and international boundaries.
My name is Professor Ayobami Salami, Young Vice Chancellor Academic. Can we hear from... Can we hear from... Okay, please introduce yourself. My name is Professor Abdullahi Umar, BBC Academics. I'll talk at Pavelewa University, but you can hear you loud and clear.
Apart from facilitating research and learning, INGRAIN has the capacity to offer the efficiencies of unified communications and consolidation of digital content. The broad objective of INGRAIN are to provide cheaper bandwidth for the universities that sign to the network, to provide an efficient network infrastructure for research, and to provide network services and applications. INGRAIN would also promote linkage and collaboration between the research community, the industry, and government.
NGRAIN is an initiative of the National Universities Commission with the strong support of the Committee of Vice Chancellors, the Nigerian University System, and the Ministry of Communication Technology. There are over 100 research and education networks in the world today, and Nigeria remains the biggest country in the world that is yet to commission one. Many countries that are not as endowed as Nigeria or have been grappling with more internal challenges than Nigeria have functional and thriving realms. Examples include Sudan, Rwanda, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ethiopia, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Uganda, Somalia, and Zambia. NUC recognizes the need to ensure that our educational institutions are globally competitive to guarantee the production of good quality graduates and research development.
27 federal universities have been connected to NGRN through the World Bank Stability Fund and some funds from Ministry of Education.
The Committee of Vice Chancellors is very proud to have been part of this noble cause. We look forward to renewed commitments on the part of all stakeholders to ensure that all higher education institutions in the country, both public and private, are connected to the network.
We communicated with nearly all the universities in Nigeria, about 20-something universities in Nigeria. We are yet to extend it to the 129 universities we have at the moment. We are able to communicate with America, 2 or 3 universities there. We spoke with them directly. So with that, you can see how education can be expanded to reach a larger audience. A lecturer here can lecture on a particular subject in all the Nigerian universities simultaneously. And they can ask questions, you can see them, they can see you, they will answer. It's the same as being in the same classroom.
The Minister of Education, Shekaro, recently visited the NUC to see for himself how INGRAIN operates. he had the opportunity to see how England can bring many students and indeed lecturers to one lecture hall.
I wish to congratulate you for a very good job you have been doing. I wish to commend the effort NEC has been putting in place. This, of course, does not mean we do not have room for improvement. From the records I've seen and the briefings I've received, we are making tremendous progress.
It is instructive to note that President Jonthathan personally ensured the funding of the network. He has indeed directed TED Fund to make available funds for the project. The occasional hiccups in the education sector, especially at the tertiary level, deserve some analysis. For several months in 2013, the university system was shut down as a result of certain demands by lecturers. The same scenario played out in the polytechnics and colleges of education. It took the personal intervention of President Jonthathan for the situation to return to normalcy. The President's transformation program has indeed touched all areas of the education sector.
Previously, the pupils in the primary school had no textbook. Even the teachers found it difficult to prepare a lot of lessons because there are lack of textbooks in our primary schools. But presently, with the President's intervention, there are books, there are textbooks teachers rely on as resources to develop their own capacity and also to plan the note of lessons, also to impart knowledge to these pupils. So we in the primary school can lay our hands on textbooks now.
Their performance are beginning to pick up. So they having this textbook, having access to it, helps the teacher to teach better and even helps the children to comprehend more.
In the previous regime, the children only see this chalkboard. When the teacher is teaching, they look at it, they can. So many of them cannot be able to provide the textbooks. But now, textbooks has been given to them. When the teacher is teaching, they look at the textbooks. Some of them cannot be able to read. By looking at it, they started reading.
Children are doing better than before. You will see that before government will complain, children are not doing anything. But if you yourself go into the classroom and see what the children are doing, you will not believe that they are public school.
I find it more easier learning in the school. Just like before, we don't have plenty textbooks. We will write and write in the board. We will get tired.
The government has done so much for us. And this school, we are already thanking the government for what he has been doing for us.
We cannot bury the fact that education under the present dispensation is better than what it has been. It will augur well for the transformation to continue by endorsing President Jonthathan for a deserved second term in office.
It's undeniable the progressive transformation of Nigeria's aviation sector. With the modernization of safety and navigational equipment, air travelers are confident again. With the remodeling of terminals nationwide, Nigerian airports are fast becoming tourist destinations. With the construction of cargo terminals, agriculture can flourish again, and the best is yet to come. It's Jonthathan, work in progress. Vote continuity. Vote President Goodluck Ebele Jonthathan. Vote PDP.